Well, here's a familiar Aussie face. Thank goodness this man's not playing anymore, otherwise the English wouldn't be as confident. Damien Martyn, welcome to SportsvibeTV. And another Ashes series is upon us, and it's a bit weird because first England are favourites, and B, if it comes to blueprints of how to prepare for an Ashes series, Australia certainly haven't produced one. But sport doesn't work like that, does it?
No, and I think an Ashes series throws up different things, and I'm looking forward to the underdog tag. I said favourites comes with pressure, and I think England, it's massive pressure in your home country. The whole country thinks they're going to win 5-0, and I think we're a chance. I mean, I honestly think now with the change of coach and a new mindset, a new energy to the side, look, it's going to be tough. I mean, England are the better side, but I mean, it's a two-horse race, and you've got to be a chance.
I mean, you probably were never written off. You never played in an Australian team that was written off. But I imagine if you are written off, that doesn't half stoke the fire in your belly.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's what people. I mean, Michael Clark and Darren Lehmann and all that. It will. There'll be a fire in their belly to come here and win. And even if we don't win here, if we're competing better and going towards where we get to Australia maybe and win in Australia, I think that's huge. I mean, even Ian Botham's coming out saying 10-0 and that. So if they don't win 10-0 and we win any test matches or get close to it at all, it's a huge thing for us.
I think people like Botha are doing a bit of a Glenn McGrath.
That's
I don't think he really means that, but I just think they're enjoying the fact, having grown up and having played against Aussie teams who smashed them year after year after year. So it's I think they're making the most of it whilst they can. I don't think anybody thinks it's going to last.
No, I understand that. I mean, why wouldn't you? I mean, it's, if you've lost that for so long to get it back, and you're confident, and the crowds here are always fantastic, the grounds are fantastic, and look, it's a big series regardless, and I just hope that we compete because it's an Ashes. What happened in India, we don't want to see that again. So I'm crossing my fingers, and I think we will. I think we will compete, and I'm looking forward to that, first Test match. Now,
the new coach, Darren Lehmann, you know very well, a teammate for many, many years. And, he's been painted as old school, traditional Aussie grit, likes a beer, not the fittest guy, etc., etc. And all of that is true, I guess. But he's a very successful coach as well. So it seems to me he's merged sort of the old school elements that you still need in a team game with, the modern day game.
Yeah, I think it's not all about him, having fun and drinking and doing whatever. I think he creates that in the side where it's about having fun playing and having fun outside when you do well. But with Queensland cricket, I mean, he'll discipline guys. I mean, if they're late for training, he sends them home, and if they're not playing to a certain level and trying to get to the goals they want to get to, I mean, he'll discipline them. So it's not all about he just walks in there and goes, "Oh, guys, go play some cricket, over a beer later." It's serious business. But he does. He merges two worlds. He merges his that sort of era of cricket with this modern coach, which is, I think, is too far down that track, where you need to manage the players, and all he's doing now is managing the players. He's in tune with each player. Families are on tour now. He's building this culture and environment where they're happy to be in it, and they want to be in it, and they want to play well. And I think he'll be our long-term coach, and I think he'll get us back to being number one.
And in all honesty, if you've been told, say, a year ago, look, the Australians are going to sack their coach 2 weeks before the start of the Ashes tour, you'd probably think, well, that's an absolute nightmare. But in reality, I would imagine your hopes are raised, aren't you, by the fact that it's Lehmann and the fact that something had to happen.
Yeah, and I said a year ago that he would coach Australia after Mickey Arthur. Whenever Mickey, I was shocked that it was such a big contract, 4 or 5 years Mickey Arthur. I think you just can't do that. Then I said, when that runs out, Darren Lehmann will take over. And I think from a Cricket Australia point of view, it was a business decision where we were floundering, and no doubt they'd done their research and what's going on the side and what was happening, and it's a bold decision, and I take my hat off to James Sullivan and the board, whoever made that decision to change it, because there's no use getting into the Test series and we're 3-0 down.
Sure,
it's gone. And they go, "Oh, what do we do now? We can't change the coach then." Then you change the coach after this series to go to Australia. I think the time was right to go, okay, this is what we're doing. We're serious about Australian cricket. It's not working. It's not about personally whether we like you or not, Mickey. It's business, and we all get dropped, and we all, you can't play forever and you can't coach forever, and this is the right direction to go now.
And I guess obviously you'd like to win this Ashes series, but it is back-to-back series. It's almost like a 10-0, isn't it, series? So he'll have more time with the team, get his methods over, And however well they do here, they'll only be better, won't they, when it gets to the return fixtures?
Oh, definitely. I think we'll see a massive improvement in Australia, and playing at home is always easier. So the ultimate goal would be, we win back the Ashes in Australia. You know, if you lose here or whatever, then in Australia we compete and we win. But we're definitely a chance. I mean, it's, as Stuart brought today, it depends on conditions. You know, you get an overcast day at Lords and we're bowling, and all of a sudden England are bowled out for 80 or so. I mean, it's in this country, conditions play a big part in moments, and I think it's winning key moments in this Test series that will help us.
Now, you can't replace overnight Shane Warne, arguably the greatest spinner of all time, Glenn McGrath, arguably the greatest seam bowler of all time, Matty Hayden, Gilchrist. I mean, these guys are superstars of the history of the game, so you can't just replace them. India, I guess, are kind of replacing their superstars, but I imagine their player base is far bigger than it is in Australia. So it's unrealistic, I guess, just to assume it's a smooth transition. But nevertheless, it seems quite surprising that there's been quite a difference between that team, because I mean, Australia must have seen it coming.
I think we mucked it up terribly. We were too caught up with the legends of the game and trying to replace them, looking for Shane Warne, looking for Glenn McGrath and Matthew Haynes, and then we started picking players that did a bit of both. And instead of just getting back to the very simple principle is, guys, play first class cricket, you make runs, you take wickets, we'll pick you. Not you've got a bit of talent, we'll pick you. The Baggy Green cap is not about you have a bit of talent, we'll pick you. It's about you're the best 11 for the country at this moment. And I think we will see that now. It's like we want our Shield cricketers to know that if you make 1,000 runs in a season, you're a chance to play for Australia. And that was the way when we were growing up. I was told, look, if you want to play for Australia, you need to make 800 runs plus. Otherwise you won't get in. I think we've just slackened off in our first class cricket. So hopefully that improves, and over time we'll see everything building up to, we can start going in the right direction.
Final thoughts on this England team. You've got an opening batting Cook who has the mentality to bat forever, Trott who can do the same thing, and then you've got the flasher boys who can win a game like Peterson, Pryor. You've got a world-class spinner in Swan, and you've got someone like Anderson who's over 300 Test wickets now, so they seem pretty complete.
They had a good side, very good side. Anderson's in great form, and Cook's amazing, 2500s, and he's only, mid-20s or something. It's an incredible record. So Cook's a big wicket because he's the captain, he stabilises that side, and Peterson, if he plays, or depending on injuries, whatever, I think he's that X factor where he can win games in a session, and he's dangerous, and he's always been a scary part for Australian cricket because he's like a Lara or whatever, where they just take the games away from you. So they've got, around those two, they've got, Trott and Bell and all these stable players who make runs day in, day out. So they have got a complete side. And Swan's confidence, we've got a lot of left-handers, he loves bowling left-handers, so it's a big challenge for us. But I think we don't want any other way. I mean, you want a challenge, you don't want to just win the series easily. So I'm hoping that we can just compete well. I mean, I think we're taking the small steps. So we start at knots, and then we work our way up.
We're here for the whole summer, which schoolboy air without Damien. This is as good as it gets.
The sun's come out today.
So you're going to be here, Channel 5 for punditry and a lot of media work? Doing
some on Google, we're doing Cricket Club show on Google Plus, doing some Channel 5, doing some BBC. So it's exciting. I just want to be here. I think it's exciting to be in England.
Sure. You can't play. Next best thing is to talk.
That's it. Definitely.
Have a great summer. Hope it goes well for you. Not too well, but hope it goes well.